Hey, everybody. This is Will Stuyvesant, Regional Director with CEO Energy. I just wanted to thank all of you that are on the call right now and have been continuing to stay plugged into our trainings. We at CEO value your time, and we put a lot of time and effort to make sure that we can give you the info that you need to help grow your business on these corporate calls. As you know, we're experiencing winter, and if you're in a state that has a winter, this is an awesome time to go out and get natural gas accounts. In Michigan, I know that we were like at sub-zero temperatures over the weekend, and I know that those gas meters were just spinning like crazy. So now's a great time to go get natural gas accounts.
Buzz from Grand Rapids.
In addition to that, it's important to note that we now have portals through Direct Energy that allows you to go in, do an online submission, and we are finding that checks are coming through really fast as far as doing residential natural gas and electricity accounts. You could submit an account today, and it's more than likely going to be on next month's check. So what a great way to go get some income in your pocket now through the Direct Energy portals. You know, a question I ask myself every single day is, why would somebody get involved with CEO? And the quick answer to that is there's absolutely no investment to get involved with us. We offer a residual income that comes from services that are unconsciously purchased, which essentially makes us recession-proof. We also help people who are unknowingly and unnecessarily paying too much for the utility costs. My most favorite thing about CEO is the fact that there is no cap on our income, no cap on our promotions. We have no boss. If you meet the promotional guidelines we have within our company, you can make as much money as you want to make. And speaking of making money, we make money 29 different ways in CEO, 4 through personal production, 4 through direct management overrides, and 21 different ways with our promotional compensation plan. I have a financial planning background, and one of the things I think about, if I wanted to go out and make an extra $500 a month without me working, which means I'd have to invest or have some investment somewhere, I'd have to have about $50,000 invested, like in real estate or the stock market, to make an extra $500 a month. It is totally doable once you get to our senior consultant promotion to make an extra $500 a month between you going out there personally and having a team of agents that are going out there and getting accounts month in, month out. If you're brand new to CEO, we recommend that you go to your back office and check out our basic training. You can find it. It's a blue button that's right above the leaderboard. You just click on that, and there's a 26-page PowerPoint presentation. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get through. That'll give you kind of some of the basics to get you started as far as CEO. In addition to that, we also recommend that you get your first 3 bills right away, one of which can be your own. Get an input in the back office. See how easy it is to get your first few accounts. In addition to that, develop a list of people that you can market your CEO business to. We believe in having easy successes and going after, people that like and trust you the most, friends, family members, or whatever. We find that they're more willing to help you out, and you're able to get access to your bills or get to their bills much easier and able to help them out finding out how you can get them into potentially a fixed program versus a variable program. Hey, by the way, guys, if you guys are in a public place or a situation where you have to have a conversation with somebody else, if you could mute yourself out by hitting *6, I'd greatly appreciate it. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our National Director, Nathan Matlich. He always has so many great things for us to learn, different ways for us to grow our business. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Nathan. Take it away, buddy.
Hey, Will, thanks for doing the intro today. Always fun to hear you get everyone, pumped up about the consumer energy option, opportunity. A couple of things just to go along with what you were saying before I jump into my main topic of today, which is taking people up with you, is that right now I'm going through the process of refinancing some property, buying a single family home, and a couple other things like that. The great thing about consumer energy options is just the residual income and building a book of business and a wonderful team over time is that, it's allowed my wife to stay at home with our two young kids. But also as I'm kind of going through this process with, some of my real estate, one of the interesting things that the banker told me is that, when qualifying for loans and this, that, and other, if my wife, they said if my wife, but it would apply to both myself or my wife. If either of us were to go out and get a 9-to-5 job and get W-2 income, they could automatically add that in on, as income on top of, what we're making now and qualify for loans and different things like that. And so conversely, also what would be true is that if someone has a full-time job today and they built up their nice little consumer energy option residual income, whether you're using it to buy a house, buy a car, or anything else, it's just a great way to have that supplemental income so that, if someone wants to, invest in real estate, buy a single-family home, get a new car, consumer energy options, I think there's nothing better to, have that additional, form of income. And, back when our grandparents and great-grandparents were growing up, the only thing that there was a 9-to-5 job. Great-grandparents, based off of, lack of lights, electricity, obviously didn't have the internet or anything like that. The only thing that was available was a 9-to-5 job based off of, it being light outside and those sorts of things. And now we have this really unique opportunity to, for people to go and have a 5 to 9 job. And when I say 5 to 9, I mean, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And, short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. We're seeing a lot of people's income grow to where they're able to, transition to doing this full-time, seeing a lot of people's income growth so that they can take the vacations that they wanted and those sorts of things. So just as I was going through my own personal finances and talking with the bankers, it really hit me that, it's a phenomenal supplemental income that can help people, qualify for, whatever type of additional loans that, would make their life easier, give them a house or car that they would want. So I just thought that was really interesting. But now I wanted to go on to the main point of today, which is, I read a book called Taking People Up With You by David Novak. He's big time, vice president, within some Fortune 500 companies, Yum Brands. I think they own like KFC and some other, fast food chains. And after his years and years of experience, the reason why he said that he experienced so much success along with these Fortune 500 companies that he was a part of was because he learned that the most important thing to do is to develop leaders and figure out how to, take people up with you. And one of my favorite quotes is, a rising tide raises all ships. And so, whether you're talking about, the stock market going up, whether you're talking about the real estate market going up and having everything attached to those, produce more money, better returns, whatever it might be, or whether you're talking about our business in consumer energy options, as there's a rising tide and as, success is experienced by more and more people within your team, that tide is going to rise. You're going to experience more success. Your team's going to experience more success. So just remember, a rising tide raises all ships, and the average, and also you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you're a new consultant with consumer energy options, if you're spending a lot of time on the phone with myself or Will or one of the leaders in our company, and and they're a regional director, national director, and you're new to the business, maybe you're a senior consultant. If you spend a lot of time and you put in a lot of effort, it's only going to make sense that you're going to become the average of everyone you hang out with through hard work, promotions. There's no reason why, you couldn't get promoted to a regional or national director yourself. And so I guess when we're talking about, developing people and developing businesses, there's a couple, I guess, bullet points that I wanted to share that I took away from this book called Taking People Up With You. The first thing is you have to picture step-by-step change. And, nothing happens overnight. If someone says, I want to make $1 million, or I want to lose 50 pounds, or I want to become a national director for consumer energy options, just by saying it and writing down that goal, that's not going to be enough. But rather you have to reverse engineer it all the way back to, what is the step-by-step process that you have to follow day in, day out, week in, week out in order to reach those. And it's only after someone can break it all the way down to the specific actions that they need to take on a daily basis that they'll truly achieve their goals. For me personally, at the beginning of every week, I list about 3 to 5 goals that I am 100% committed to finishing in that week. And what I found is that those non-negotiable 3 to 5 goals that I have to finish that week, those are ultimately helping me increase my ability to find success on a year-over-year basis. So what might that look like for some of the new consultants who have joined us, or even those who have been with us for a long time? Well, some of those goals are as simple as, talk with 2 people and introduce the concept of consumer energy options to them to see if it would be a good fit for them to make some additional money on the side. Something might be, first thing when I wake up in the morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to pick up my telephone and I'm going to make 10 calls, and I'm going to talk to 10 individuals at minimum about consumer energy options, either helping them reduce their utility bills or getting them involved with us and seeing if it would be a good part-time income or add-on business that they can bolt on to what they're already currently doing and offering their customers. And if someone had those goals and they made it those goals for a daily and weekly basis, if every morning someone woke up, made 10 phone calls related to consumer energy options, and if every week you met with 2 or 3 individuals and wanted to see if they could be a part of your team, if you did that consistently week over week over week and tracked it, put a check mark or an X or a box or whatever on the calendar for every week that you completed it, I guarantee that setting up that step-by-step process for the change or success that you want to see in your business, over time, it's going to have a compounding effect and really catapult you to find some good success. The next topic I want to talk about is choose a powerful mindset instead of a limiting mindset. And so oftentimes, people wander around town with their head down, saying, poor me. I was born into a poor family. I don't have, a premier education from, Harvard. I only have a GED. I'm a victim. The world is conspiring against me. That is, that's a very limiting mindset, versus having a powerful mindset. Some of the most successful individuals in the world, every morning they wake up, they have their affirmations, they look at their list of things that they want to do or want to accomplish. They say, I'm not going to be limited by, my connections or what family I was born into or how much education I have. This week I'm going to find a tremendous amount of success. this week, I am going to meet a well-connected, established businessman that can introduce me into his network. This week, I'm going to meet, talk with, and close the biggest deal of my life. And the interesting thing is that success all starts out with a mental decision that you make on a daily basis. That mental decision is, am I going to pick up the phone at 9 a.m. in the morning and make 10 phone calls to grow my business? Am I going to pick up the phone call and make a couple cold calls or try to get some warm referrals to some well-connected individuals in my community that might be able to help me? And, it's amazing once you switch from a limiting mindset to setting goals, writing down, having a powerful mindset, and really deciding what you want to do. It's amazing how quickly those sorts of things are going to happen, because before you can actually go out and eliminate debt, make money, grow your business, whatever it might be, you first have to decide in your mind that you're going to do it and make a commitment to do it. The next thing is it's very simple. All you have to do is get to know people. And as simple as that sounds, it's so easy for us to, wake up in the morning, maybe you work from home, maybe you spend all the time at the office. It's very easy to say, you know what, I'm just going to stay at home today, or I'm just going to, sit in my cubicle at the office today and not, stretch myself to go meet new individuals, or, I'm just going to let things come to me. I don't really feel like putting myself out there. All of those are, terrible mindsets, and I would encourage everyone to rather make a point of calling people up, saying, hey, let's grab a coffee, let's have lunch. Getting to know more people can be as easy as joining a networking group. A couple weeks ago, I joined a networking group every single Thursday morning at 7 a.m. There's 25 small business owners. We get together. The number one goal of the group is to pass referrals to each other, and it's starting out with Consumer Energy Options is probably the number one and only reason why I got the energy business off the ground. Because I was new to Chicago, tons of people, didn't know anyone, and I basically made a commitment to get to know more people that could help me out. And it started with joining a networking group. I think I joined a couple where it's just a bunch of small business owners, trying to help each other out. The next point I'd like to talk about is David Novak, who, was vice president, president of sales, a couple other positions for Yum Brands. He said that the reason why he enjoyed so much success is because developing great leaders was his number one priority each and every day. And if you look at that statement, it's basically the reason why we have these Tuesday conference calls. We want to develop great leaders each and every day, each and every week. We want to have these training calls on Tuesdays. Tuesday nights we'll have a meeting or a conference call where he gets together all of his leaders and people that want to learn. Probably starting next week, I'm going to start doing a Monday night conference call to do the same, because with Consumer Energy Options, we do want to have our number one priority to develop great leaders, get promoted, encourage people to climb the ladder, and we're setting both the training schedule and also the compensation plan to inspire that. Next point, David said that the reason why he found a lot of good success is because he recognized good behavior. And it sounds kind of simple, but, in the same way, I have two small kids, when my daughter, eats vegetables or does something, cleans up her toys, has good behavior, what do? I give her a piece of chocolate, I give her a high five, pat her on the back, tell her that we can go to the park, whatever it is that is very important to her at that point in time. And through that acknowledgement of good behavior, she's developing into a great young lady. The same goes with Consumer Energy Options. I always try to congratulate all of my team members when they bring in a new account. I always, try to get excited and want to share the success with individuals who are, bringing on new team members, coaching them, getting promotions. And so recognizing good behavior, will lead to more good behavior, more success for everyone as a whole. I guess even just an example today, even as an example of today of recognizing good behavior, when I was in the bank, I was taking care of just some day-to-day banking issues and things like that, and the customer service rep, her name's Courtney, and she's helped me out quite a few times. And after I left the bank, I just sent an email to the vice president and branch manager just saying, hey, Courtney's been awesome. She's been giving me great customer service. It's probably one of the reasons why I enjoy doing banking with, why I enjoy banking with you. And, I'm not sure if it'll change, what Courtney does on a day-to-day basis, but, if it can inspire her to continue to give great customer service because she is recognized by her vice president and branch manager, then, hey, that'll benefit not only myself but everyone else who banks with them in the long term. So don't be afraid to pick up the phone, congratulate and recognize those people on your team who are doing great things, who are putting in the time, putting in the energy consistently on a regular basis. And the last point that David Novak made in taking people up with you was decentralized leadership is key to growth. And he means a couple things by that. If you only have one leader, one individual within a company that's truly a leader, that truly recognizes their staff and takes initiative, it's pretty hard for a company to have success and grow and do big things. But if you have decentralized leadership where everyone within an organization takes responsibility, takes leadership, teaches and trains team members, a business and an organization as a whole, ultimately develops other leaders more quickly, enjoys more success, and people ultimately take responsibility for their personal business and their growth and their team's growth. And so as we look at the Consumer Energy Options compensation plan, we have leaders all the way up and down, national directors, regional directors, senior consultants, and even consultants that just have joined us that have brought in a buddy to do this with them right from the get-go. We're really decentralized leadership so that there's a lot of different leaders that are attached to each individual Consumer Energy Options energy consultant, so that we can develop more leaders, so that we can give the support to everyone that they need, and also have incentive in there to do so. So I think that one of the reasons why CEO has been growing pretty rapidly is due to that decentralized leadership. And so with that, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up today. I would encourage everyone to take a couple of these bullet points to heart. I guess probably the biggest one that someone could do on a daily and weekly basis is, make a commitment to identifying, writing down, and following through with that step-by-step action plan or step-by-step change. And, I guarantee that if everyone woke up in the morning and, made 10 phone calls immediately, between the hours of 9 and 10 a.m. as it pertains to Consumer Energy Options, and met with 2 or 3 individuals on a weekly basis and introduced CEO as a part-time income, I absolutely guarantee that your business will explode and that you'll be part of that rising tide. So with that, I just want to open it up to any questions, comments. If you've been experiencing any of these successes through kind of, taking initiative and taking a leadership role and coaching other individuals to success, definitely would love to hear any of that feedback.
Nathan, Fred Krug here.
Hey, Fred.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I just want to tell you that was very insightful, very informative. I was sitting here eating some lunch, listening to your call, and I thought to myself after about the second point you made, your talk's feeding me more than my lunch. I mean, those are timeless leadership principles that can apply to anything across your life, whether it's losing weight, getting a college degree, a job, or doing energy deals, making money. So I just wanted to tell you that was a great call, very informative. You and Will do an excellent job, and all I can say to anybody else on the call is whoever is plugging into those leaders, Will and Nate, and duplicate exactly what they're talking about, these types of principles on these calls, those are going to be the biggest income earners, not only in CEO, but probably the greatest achievers in life, too. So, Nate, great call.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Fred.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome.
Hi, this is Erin Alant. And I was wanting to get in on the Tuesday night training meeting. Is that with Nate Matlich?
So this is Nathan. So there's give me two options. There's Will on Tuesday nights. He hosts a call that his team and really anyone else can join. And then I'll probably be looking to have a training call on Monday nights. That'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central Time. So really, Will, are you on the phone? What time do you have your calls on Tuesday nights?
I have them 9 o'clock on Eastern Time, and I will say this, that my calls that I have on Tuesday nights are not like our corporate calls. They're discussion calls, and where Nate and I lead, the topics or maybe talk more on the corporate calls. Most of my team kind of run my Tuesday night calls, meaning that I've allowed, I shouldn't say allowed, they graciously just add and contribute, and so we kind of I frankly learn so much more from my team about what's being in the field, discussing what's going on, than me getting involved in lecturing or whatever. I might say a few things, just updates on what might be going on in CEO, or a couple thoughts on what I had, but my just calls are very informal on Tuesday nights.
Well, that's what I'm looking for, just a basic discussion, because I've been doing this for a while, and I just have some questions that I didn't really think were good for this Tuesday 1 o'clock call.
Perfect. Okay. And that's totally fine. It's the exact same dial-in phone number for the CEO conference call that we're on right now that I'll use for my Monday night calls at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I think we'll use the same one. So, Monday or Tuesday, 9 o'clock, feel free to dial in.
To dial the same number?
Yep, the exact same conference call line number and the exact same dialing code.
Okay, so on Tuesdays currently at 9 then?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
No problem.
Any other questions, comments?
Hey, Nathan, this is Malcolm. How are you?
Hey, good, Malcolm. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing good. You just talked about leadership. I just know with all the leaders I read about and talk to, they all followed at one time, and just it's a pleasure to listen to you guys, follow you guys, and ask questions because I'm new in this business. When I started with Will, I didn't know squat. So I asked him, how many questions did I ask you, Will?
Whatever it took for you to feel comfortable to do this. So, whatever it took, I had the answers. So,
but ask questions. You have to follow first to get the experience, then teach your experience. That's what I would say. Teach your experience. Teach your experience and share your failures. There you go. Teach your experience and share your failures. That's what I would say.
And to kind of go on top of that, every single ridiculously successful individual that I've ever met, and this is in any area of your life. It doesn't matter if it's working out, business, or otherwise. The people who reach a stratospheric amount of success, a tremendous amount of success, reach it by pushing themselves and by putting themselves in situations that might be just outside of their comfort zone, as far as whether it's when you're working out and lifting weights and doing those 5 extra reps that are really difficult on that bench press or leg press or whatever it is. It's those extra reps that you do at the gym that are very, very uncomfortable that ultimately allow you to reach new heights in your athletic training. Same goes with your business or growing your circle of influence and the individuals that you know. It's only when you push yourself beyond the limits of where you're a little bit uncomfortable, and I find myself in that position right now and joining this new networking group where I didn't know anyone in the group, and I'm kind of a little nervous, really kind of push myself to get out there and meet all of these new people. And even though I'm pushing myself beyond my comfort zone, the rewards that I'm getting in doing so are just tremendous. And so, like Fred said, whatever area of it is in your life, write it down and track it on a daily, weekly basis, commit to it. And, don't be afraid to get out there, make those calls, meet those people, talk about consumer energy options. When you feel like, you want to quit at 4 o'clock, make those, 6 extra phone calls or stop in and see 2 more businesses. And, the individuals that are willing to do what others are not are ultimately the ones who are going to find the most success.
Yeah, thanks for that, Nathan.
Absolutely. I appreciate your comments.
I just want to add one more quick note, Nate, and I bring this up every time that you do one of these calls. It is absolutely imperative to try to grow yourself every day. And every time you get on one of these calls, you have just this wealth of knowledge that all of us can feed off of, from all of these different things that you're doing to improve yourself. I've always felt that to be deserving of all leaders are readers, and to truly feel that you're deserving of any success, you've got to grow your mind to be able to handle that. And I just can't emphasize enough, how great it is that you're able to share all of these different topics and, things to help us grow. So,
thanks, Will. And your comments are always very insightful and appreciated. I know people get a lot of value out of everything that you bring to the table. And, just kind of going back and touching on one of the points that I made today, and then I'll wrap up, is probably one of the most revolutionary things that I have done this year has been that at the beginning of every week, and usually I take Sunday night, and all it takes is less than 5 minutes, is I write down the 3 to 5 things that I'm 100% committed to finishing that week. And what I know is that I pick the biggest ones. Maybe it's the monster proposal that's going to go out to, a customer that's, is going to make me $500 a month or whatever it is. And I write down those 3 to 5 things, and I tell myself, I say, hey, look, if at the end of this week, if the only thing I accomplish is these 3 to 5 things, it's been a successful week, and everything else in between is just, filler or building on other things that I'm doing. What I found is that I've been experiencing a tremendous amount of success and growth by having a laser-like focus of accomplishing those 3 to 5 big things each week. And the interesting thing is that I have 52 weeks throughout the year, and when I stack up those 3 to 5 things, next thing I know, I've accomplished about 250 200 or 250 big things throughout the year. And I guarantee that at the end of this year, when I look back and see what kind of success that I've enjoyed, it's really going to be that I made that solid commitment that every week, no matter what, going to finish these 3 to 5 big things. And then at the end of each week, on the following Sunday night, I also reflect on and write down, what I did, what I accomplished, what I can work on, and then set my agenda for the 3 to 5 big things that I want to accomplish the next week. So that's been pretty revolutionary for me, because that keeps me laser-like focused on all of the small tasks that I can finish within a week or less time that have big results. So with that, I just want to thank everyone for jumping on the call. Always appreciate the questions, comments, and then hopefully anyone who couldn't join us on the call today will be listening to this recording. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the top.